Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about a high-stakes courtroom drama that has shaken the very core of General Hospital. What started as a custody battle quickly spiraled into a confrontation filled with betrayal, legal maneuvering, emotional ambushes, and shocking reveals. At the center of it all, Michael Corinthos, Willow Tate, Drew Cain, and the two children who mean the world to them, Wiley and Amelia. The episode opens in turmoil as Drew Cain sets his strategy in motion. Determined to secure custody rights for Willow, Drew takes a controversial approach. Instead of relying solely on Willow's strengths as a mother, he opts for an aggressive tactic: discredit Michael Corinthos as an unfit parent. Drew brings in Rick Lansing, a seasoned and sometimes ruthless attorney, to paint Michael as an absentee father. On paper, Rick's argument looks strong. Michael has been absent for months. He hasn't been seen in Port Charles. He hasn't been with Wiley or Amelia. His silence, his distance, and his lack of presence make it easy to question his role as a father. This is exactly what Drew hopes to leverage. Rick emphasizes to the court that children need a stable, present parent, and that Michael has failed to fulfill that basic requirement. But here's where the strategy takes a darker turn. Drew knows the truth: Michael didn't abandon his kids. Michael has been recovering from severe burn injuries sustained months ago. He's been undergoing treatment at a private clinic in Germany. His absence was not neglect, it was survival. Still, Drew chooses not to mention this to the court. Instead, he lets Michael's silence and invisibility speak against him. This choice is a moral gamble. Drew justifies it as necessary, a painful but strategic move to win the case for Willow. But this decision creates a ripple effect. Carly Corinthos and Diane Miller, both present at the courtroom, sense the tension and the danger. They know that Michael's absence is being weaponized, and they feel powerless to stop it. Carly is distraught. She knows her son has endured unimaginable pain, both physically and emotionally. To watch the courtroom twist that's suffering into a case against him is unbearable. Diane, an experienced attorney, can see the way the judge is leaning. The arguments are landing. Drew and Willow are gaining ground. As the courtroom drama escalates, the tide seems to turn decisively in Willow's favor. The judge listens attentively to Rick's arguments. He nods when the issue of Michael's prolonged absence is raised. Willow, visibly emotional, pleads for her children. She insists that she is their primary caregiver, their emotional anchor. Drew supports her with conviction. The momentum is theirs. And then, the courtroom doors open. Michael Corinthos walks in. The room freezes. Time seems to stop. Bandages cover parts of Michael's face and arms. His movement is stiff, evidence of pain with every step. But his eyes are sharp. His voice is steady. And what he brings with him changes everything. Michael approaches the bench and respectfully requests to address the court. With the judge's approval, he explains everything. He reveals that he has spent the last several months receiving specialized treatment for third-degree burns in Germany. He shares medical documentation, photos, and verified reports from doctors overseas. His absence, he states clearly, was not abandonment, it was necessity. The courtroom is silent. Willow looks stunned. Drew's expression darkens. But Michael isn't done. He shifts the narrative with surgical precision. After clearing his name and defending his role as a father, Michael drops a bombshell. He presents evidence: digital correspondence, surveillance images, and witness statements, proving that Drew and Willow engaged in an extramarital affair during the time Willow was still legally married to Michael. The revelation is brutal. It hits Willow like a sledgehammer. Her composure shatters. The betrayal is undeniable. Michael explains that this betrayal is not just personal, it speaks to trust, stability, and the environment in which Wiley and Amelia are being raised. The judge listens carefully. Slowly, the courtroom energy shifts. Michael's return isn't just a moment of emotional impact, it's a masterclass in reclaiming narrative power. He turns the courtroom from a place where he was judged in absentia to a forum where he delivers truth and justice. His presence dismantles the arguments Drew and Rick built. It also challenges Willow's image as a wronged mother, revealing layers of deceit and hidden motives. Carly watches all of this unfold with visible relief. Her son, battered but unbroken, has defended his integrity and love for his children. Diane quickly regroups, using Michael's testimony to reinforce their case. She points out that Michael, even in extreme physical pain, has done everything in his power to stay involved and now fights to remain in his children's lives. The judge deliberates. It's a heavy decision. The welfare of Wiley and Amelia hangs in the balance. But the facts are now clear. The court rules in favor of Michael and Carly. They are awarded primary custody of Wiley and Amelia. The moment is both victorious and heartbreaking. Willow collapses into tears. She sobs uncontrollably, her entire body racked with grief. Her children, the center of her world, are no longer with her. She tries to reach for them, emotionally, spiritually, but the damage is done. Her choices, her secrets, her betrayal, they have consequences now. Drew tries to comfort her. He places a hand on her shoulder, whispers words of consolation. But it's not enough. Willow is shattered, not only by the court's decision but by the exposure of their affair and the public unraveling of her maternal image. Michael doesn't celebrate. He doesn't gloat. He holds his head high, but his eyes are filled with pain. He walks toward Wiley and Amelia, kneels beside them, and tells them that he's home. That he's here. That he never left them in spirit. The episode closes with a montage of emotional aftermath. Carly embraces her son, tears in her eyes. She knew he would come back, but she didn't expect him to return with such force. Diane nods, satisfied that justice was done. Drew walks out of the courtroom with Willow, their future uncertain, their reputations bruised. This custody battle will echo in Port Charles for months to come. The courtroom victory is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. Michael now has to rebuild his relationship with Wiley and Amelia. He has to co-parent in a fractured emotional landscape. Willow must find a way to live without daily access to her children. She must reckon with her choices and the man she chose to align with. Drew, once a calculated strategist, now faces the fallout of turning his back on truth for the sake of a legal win. Trusts are broken. Alliances have shifted. The Corinthos family stands tall for now, but shadows of betrayal and grief still linger. In the end, General Hospital once again delivers a storyline filled with raw emotion, intense courtroom drama, and character-defining moments. The battle over Wiley and Amelia may be legally settled, but emotionally, it's far from over. Next, we will delve into the explosive revelations surrounding Gio Palmieri's true identity and the seismic waves it's set to send through the lives of Port Charles's most beloved families. A secret of this magnitude, hidden for so long, is bound to unravel relationships, ignite fierce confrontations, and reshape the very foundation of the Courtamane and Falconeri clans. With emotions running high and trust hanging by a thread, let's explore the far-reaching consequences of this bombshell and how it might fracture bonds that once seemed unbreakable. The shocking truth about Gio Palmieri. At the heart of this brewing storm lies the staggering truth about Gio Palmieri, a young man whose presence in Port Charles has always sparked curiosity. Spoilers suggest that Gio is none other than the biological son of Brooklyn Courtamane and Dante Falconeri, a fact that has been concealed from both parents for years. This revelation is not just a personal bombshell for Brooklyn and Dante, it's a ticking time bomb for everyone in their orbit. The implications stretch far beyond the immediate family, threatening to alter long-standing alliances and unearth buried resentments. Imagine the weight of discovering that your child, unbeknownst to you, has been growing up right under your nose. The pain, the questions, and the sense of betrayal are only the beginning for these two unsuspecting parents as they grapple with a reality they never saw coming. A family torn apart, the Courtemain ripple effect. The Courtemain family, known for their wealth, influence, and often tumultuous dynamics, will feel the brunt of this secret's fallout. Brooklyn, a woman who has fought hard to carve her own path, will be devastated to learn that her own mother, Lois Cerullo, played a pivotal role in hiding Joe's identity. This isn't just a lie, it's a profound betrayal of trust that could sever the mother-daughter bond irreparably. Meanwhile, Ned Courtemain, Brooklyn's father and a man well-versed in navigating family scandals, might find himself torn between anger and empathy. Having experienced his own share of mistakes, Ned may see Lois's actions as misguided rather than malicious, a desperate attempt to shield her daughter from pain. However, this perspective could place him at odds with others in the family who demand accountability. Picture family gatherings at the Courtemain mansion, once filled with bickering yet warmth, now steeped in icy silence and accusatory glares as each member processes the magnitude of this deception. Olivia Falconeri's heartbreak and fury. On the other side of the equation, Olivia Falconeri, Dante's mother and a close friend to Lois, will be blindsided by the revelation that Gio is her grandson. The sting of being kept in the dark by someone she considered a confidant will cut deep. Olivia, known for her fierce loyalty and protective nature, will likely view Lois's silence as an unforgivable breach of trust. How could a best friend withhold something so monumental? The betrayal might drive Olivia to sever ties with Lois entirely, ending a friendship that once weathered countless storms. Adding to the complexity, Olivia's reaction could strain her marriage to Ned. While she demands justice and distance from Lois, Ned's potential willingness to offer Lois a sliver of understanding might feel like a personal affront to Olivia. Late-night arguments in their home, voices raised over principles and past loyalties, could become the norm as they struggle to reconcile their opposing views on forgiveness and retribution. A marriage on the brink. The rift between Ned and Olivia may deepen as the truth about Gio continues to reverberate. Olivia, feeling isolated in her anger, might accuse Ned of siding with Lois over his own wife, a perception that could shatter the trust they've built over years. Ned, in contrast, may argue that holding on to grudges will only perpetuate pain, urging Olivia to see the bigger picture, that Lois's intentions, however flawed, were rooted in a desire to protect. But for Olivia, this isn't about intent, it's about the devastating consequences of secrecy. Tensions could escalate to a breaking point, with Olivia suggesting a temporary separation to clear her head. Imagine Ned's shock as he watches the woman he loves pack a suitcase, her words echoing in his mind, "If you can forgive her, how can I trust you to stand by me?" This crossroads could redefine their relationship, forcing them to question whether their love is strong enough to withstand such a fundamental disagreement over family and loyalty. Lois Cerullo, the eye of the storm. At the center of this maelstrom stands Lois Cerullo, the keeper of the secret that has upended so many lives. Once a vibrant, integral part of the Port Charles community, Lois may find herself ostracized as fingers point in her direction. Friends and family alike might question how she could justify such a monumental deception, leaving her to defend her choices in the face of overwhelming criticism. Perhaps Lois believed that revealing Joe's parentage would have caused more harm than good at the time. Maybe she feared for Brooklyn's emotional stability or Dante's readiness for fatherhood. But good intentions rarely soften the blow of harsh truths. As she faces the cold shoulders of those she loves, Lois might retreat into isolation, haunted by the realization that her attempt to protect has only wrought destruction. Will she find an ally in Ned, or will she be forced to bear this burden alone? The future of Port Charles relationships. As the dust settles, or rather, as the storm continues to rage, the relationships within Port Charles will undoubtedly shift in unpredictable ways. Brooklyn and Dante will need to navigate their new roles as Joe's parents, a journey fraught with awkward conversations, missed milestones, and the challenge of building a bond from scratch. Their shared pain over being kept in the dark might draw them closer, or it could unearth old wounds, reminding them of why they parted ways in the first place. Meanwhile, the Quartermain family's internal dynamics could fracture further, with younger members like Michael and Willow potentially taking sides or attempting to mediate. And what of Gio himself? How will this young man process the truth of his origins, caught between two worlds and the weight of everyone else's emotions? The ripple effects of this revelation could extend for months, if not years, reshaping alliances and testing the resilience of even the strongest ties. Next, we will uncover the swirling rumors and tantalizing hints surrounding the potential recast of Michael Corinthos as he prepares for a dramatic return to Port Charles. With whispers of casting calls, cryptic social media posts, and the ever-present possibility of a plot twist, the anticipation among fans is reaching a fever pitch. Could the show be playing a clever game of misdirection, or are we truly on the brink of seeing a new face take on this iconic role? Let's dive into the speculation, the drama awaiting Michael, and what this could mean for the future of General Hospital's beloved character. Whispers of a recast, the Robert Adamson clue. The rumor mill in Port Charles has been working overtime, ignited by a since-deleted tweet from actor Robert Adamson last month. Adamson, a familiar face to soap opera fans from his time as Noah Newman on The Young and the Restless, has previously stepped in for Chad Duell as Michael Corinthos during temporary absences. In his now-vanished post on X, Adamson expressed disappointment at not being invited to audition for a more permanent take on the role, despite his readiness to slip into Michael's shoes at a moment's notice in the past. This revelation set the fanbase abuzz with questions. Is General Hospital genuinely seeking a new Michael, or was this a calculated leak to stir excitement? Adamson's history with the show adds a layer of intrigue. His familiarity with the character could make him a natural fit, yet his exclusion from the casting process hints at a possible shift in direction. Perhaps the showrunners are seeking a fresh interpretation, or maybe they're simply keeping their cards close to their chest to maximize the surprise. A clever swerve or genuine change? The deleted tweet has sparked a heated debate among fans. Is this all an elaborate ruse by the General Hospital team to throw viewers off the scent? Soap operas are no strangers to misdirection, often planting false leads to keep audiences guessing. The idea of a Michael recast could be a smokescreen, designed to distract from an entirely different plot twist awaiting his return. Consider the timing. Adamson's post and subsequent deletion could have been orchestrated to fuel speculation while the show quietly finalizes plans with the original actor, Chad Duell. Alternatively, the production might indeed be scouting for a new face, aiming to reinvent Michael's energy and story arc. If this is a swerve, it's a brilliant one, as the uncertainty has fans scouring social media for clues and dissecting every casting rumor. The lack of official confirmation only deepens the mystery, leaving us to ponder whether we'll see a familiar face or a shocking newcomer when Michael steps back into Port Charles. The irreplaceable original, Chad Duell's legacy. For many loyal viewers, there's no replacing the original Michael Corinthos, brought to life by Chad Duell over the years. Duell has imbued the character with a unique blend of vulnerability and strength, navigating everything from family betrayals to personal tragedies with a depth that resonates deeply. His portrayal has become synonymous with Michael's journey, making the idea of a recast a bitter pill to swallow for some. Yet, as of now, Duell has remained silent on social media about his plans, offering no hints about a potential return. This radio silence could be deliberate, preserving the element of surprise, or it might indicate negotiations behind closed doors. Fans cling to the hope that Duell will reclaim his role, picturing him storming back into Port Charles with the same intensity that has defined Michael's most memorable moments. The thought of those signature intense gazes and heartfelt confrontations delivered by anyone else feels almost unthinkable to the die-hard audience who've grown up with his version of the character. Michael's explosive return, chaos awaits. Regardless of who plays him, Michael Corinthos' return is poised to be nothing short of explosive. The stage is set for high-stakes drama, starting with the fallout from Willow Tate Corinthos' rebuffed attempt to visit him at a German clinic, a rejection orchestrated by the cunning Drew Kane amid a bitter custody battle over their children. This alone promises fiery confrontations as Michael grapples with Drew's interference in his family. Add to that the unexpected twist of Sasha Corbin's pregnancy, with her growing belly symbolizing a new chapter that could either bind or break existing ties. Michael, known for his protective instincts, might return to find his world upended, personal relationships strained, loyalties tested, and new responsibilities looming. Imagine him walking into the Corinthos mansion, the air thick with tension, as he faces Willow's tearful explanations and Sasha's nervous confessions. His response could ignite fresh conflicts, potentially aligning him with unlikely allies or deepening old grudges as he fights to reclaim control over his fractured life. The power of shock value in Port Charles. General Hospital thrives on delivering jaw-dropping surprises, and Michael's return, whether with dual or a new actor, offers the perfect opportunity for a shock that will reverberate through the fanbase. If the show can keep the details under wraps until the pivotal moment, the reveal could become one of the most talked about events of the season. Picture the scene: a shadowy figure stepping into a dimly lit room, the camera lingering on familiar faces frozen in disbelief before panning to reveal Michael's face, be it duels or a stranger's. The collective gasp from viewers at home would be the ultimate payoff for months of secrecy. A recast, if executed with a talented actor who can capture Michael's essence while adding a new layer, could breathe fresh life into ongoing storylines. Conversely, Duel's return would be a nostalgic triumph, reaffirming the emotional connection fans have built with his portrayal.